Melania shares some of her very best anecdotes in the book. There's a passage about that time in 2019. Her husband called her in to watch a classified military.
I asked President Xi if they had a drug problem in China. And I'm not going to do the voice, but he said, no, me no like drugs, me like death penalty.
The other big Trump book, Melania's memoir, came out today. It's called Melania. It's named after her. Proceeds from sales of the book are going to one of Melania's favorite charities, Body Doubles for Conjugal Visits. Very good book.
Have you ever seen a couple that looks completely miserable together but insists everything is perfect? That's exactly what Baldwin and Kimmel exposed about the Trumps on national television last week. When Baldwin joked that their marriage resembles a hostage situation with designer handbags. Even Trump supporters in the audience couldn't help but laugh. The truth hits different when it's wrapped in comedy, and Trump's explosive reaction shows exactly how much these jokes stung. Let's break down why he's so upset about these particular burns. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Have you ever noticed how Trump boasts about his marriage like it's some kind of trophy he won at a golf tournament?
We need walls. Wall works. Wall makes safe.
They say walls don't work. Walls work 100%. When I asked President Xi, I said, do you have a drug problem? No. We give death penalty to people that sell drugs. End of problem.
I asked President Xi if they had a drug problem in China. And I'm not going to do the voice, but he said, no, me no like drugs, me like death penalty.
For years, he's been selling us this fairy tale about having the world's greatest woman by his side. You've seen those awkward staged photos. Melania standing there in designer outfits with that frozen smile while Trump grins like he just closed a real estate deal. But Alec Baldwin came along and completely shattered this perfect marriage illusion on Saturday Night Live. Baldwin didn't just poke fun at Trump's politics. He went straight for the jugular by portraying their marriage as what he brutally called a hostage situation with designer handbags. The audience didn't just laugh, they gasped because it hit way too close to home. What made Baldwin's impression so devastating was how he captured Melania's essence.
Melania shares some of her very best anecdotes in the book. There's a passage about that time in 2019. Her husband called her in to watch a classified military. Melania claims she didn't condemn the violence on January 6th because she was busy going over White House renovations that day. Hello, Donald, what are you wearing? The other big Trump book, Melania's memoir, came out today. It's called Melania. It's named after her. Proceeds from sales of the book are going to one of Melania's favorite charities, Body Doubles for Conjugal Visits. Very good book.
That distant, trapped look we've all noticed in real footage whenever Trump rambles on for more than a few seconds. Baldwin didn't have to exaggerate much. He just mimicked what we already see in those painful public appearances where Melania looks like she'd rather be anywhere else. The comedy genius also revealed something pretty shocking. According to Baldwin, two very powerful people in Washington told him that Melania actually watches his Trump impressions in private and laughs while saying, "That's him, that's him." Can you imagine Trump's face if he found out his own wife was getting a kick out of the very impressions that drive him crazy?
So I'm going to sign these papers for emergency, and then I'll immediately be sued, and the ruling will not go in my favor, and then I'll end up in the Supreme Court, and then I'll call my buddy Kavanaugh, and I'll say it's time to repay the Donnie. ABC sucks too, but at least they have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We love the Shield, don't we? We love the Shield.
Not NBC. I like ABC a little bit more, not much.
And they'll say, new phone, who dis?
And we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court.
Oh, NBC's got their hand up, but they suck, so not them.
Baldwin's portrayal highlighted the bizarre way Trump discusses women, including his own wife. He perfectly mimicked Trump's habit of reducing women to numbers. That woman is a 10, that woman used to be a 10, but now she's a 7. It's like listening to someone assess livestock at a county fair, not talk about human beings. And how did the thin-skinned former president respond? Exactly as you'd expect, with a Twitter tantrum calling Baldwin talentless and unfunny. Nothing says, "I'm totally secure about my marriage," like having a public meltdown over a comedy sketch. While Trump was busy having a meltdown over Baldwin's impression, Jimmy Kimmel delivered an even more devastating blow. He pointed out the weirdest thing about Trump's so-called perfect marriage. The bride seems to have gone missing.
The book says Trump has spoken to Vladimir Putin 7 times since he left office, which is less than Ivanka, but more than Tiffany. It's right in there. The book has some stories about our current president, too. Joe Biden, in private, refers to Trump as that effing a-hole, which tracks. Of Bibi Netanyahu, Biden said, that son of a bitch, he's a bad guy, he's a bad effing guy. Right now, the book is ranked number 17 on Amazon, and despite the fact that it just came out, even has reviews. Here's one of the reviews. J Love gives it 5 stars, says, wonderful, this was the best book I've ever read.
Kimmel recently hit Trump with this zinger. Listen, you can't find Melania. It doesn't mean she doesn't exist. She's just not responding to you. Ouch. That's not just a joke. It's a public service announcement about the ghost-like First Lady. Here's what makes this so awkward. Melania has barely been spotted in public since Trump returned to office over a month ago. For any other First Lady, this would be front page news. But with the Trumps, it's just Tuesday. Kimmel brilliantly highlighted the irony of Trump demanding federal employees prove they exist by sending emails when the poor guy can't even prove his own wife wants to hang out with him. It's like searching for Bigfoot, except Bigfoot occasionally shows up for Christmas photos. The strangest part? Melania has apparently decided the White House isn't worth her time, preferring to stay, well, anywhere else. This isn't normal First Lady behavior. It's more like someone who signed up for a timeshare presentation just to get the free hotel stay and now refuses to attend the actual presentation. Kimmel's marriage material has been hitting Trump's nerves for years. He once described their anniversary photo as a sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her. Talk about relationship goals. Trump's skin is so thin you could use it as tracing paper. He once erupted and called Kimmel a washed up, low IQ, bad ratings host after one of these marriage jokes. Nothing says my marriage is rock solid like having a public tantrum when someone points out your wife doesn't want to hold your hand. What makes these jokes cut so deep is they're not even jokes, they're just observations. Melania's absence isn't some conspiracy theory, it's documented reality. Her reluctance to hold Trump's hand isn't imaginary, it's captured on video. Kimmel is just saying what we're all seeing. So what Baldwin and Kimmel really nailed with their comedy isn't just poking fun at Trump, they've exposed the fragile facade of his perfect marriage fantasy. When Alec Baldwin described the Trump marriage as about as warm and loving as an arranged tax write-off, he wasn't just making a joke, he was hitting the painful truth Trump can't bear to hear. The body language experts have been saying it for years. There's a Grand Canyon of emotional distance between Donald and Melania. It's why jokes about their relationship send him into those famous Twitter tantrums. The man who claims to make the best deals apparently couldn't negotiate genuine affection in his own marriage. The truth that drives Trump absolutely bonkers is simple. You can buy gold toilets, you can buy a model wife, but you can't buy that sparkle in someone's eyes when they actually want to hold your hand. And that's the one thing all his money and power can't fix.